If you want to improve the amount of money that you have, the time you have and the focus you have, and you want to implement everything within 1 hour and continue to get results for the rest of your life, then this is the video you want to watch. Without it sounding gimmicky, I'm just going to give you everything that I put in place that achieved those results for me and continue to do so today. And I'm just going to reel everything off to you as quickly and fast as possible. So first and foremost, turn the speed up on this video. If you're watching it at normal speed, put it up to ×2. If it's too quick for you to comprehend, turn it down to 1.75 and find the balance for yourself. The point being, everything that you consume, especially if it's educational, increase the speed at which you consume it. So turn up your podcast, turn up your audiobooks, turn up the speed on your YouTube videos, turn up the speed on your training videos. Whatever you're doing, just watch them a little bit quicker, because if you can get all your training and all the knowledge that you want in half the time, then you will have more time to implement the thing that you want to do, including the advice that I'm about to give you in this video. But a point to note, when I proposed watching a movie to my wife and watching it on ×2, it does not work. You have to watch that at the normal speed. I'm talking about information where you're focused on that and nothing else. Turn up the speed, just get through quicker. And that's lesson 1, watch everything just a little bit quicker. Number 2, download the Chrome extension called Newsfeed Eradicator, because it works on just about every social media site, including Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So when you log on to these platforms, it just blocks out the entire feed, because how many times has it been that you go on one of these platforms to do one thing, but you get sucked into the feed that's coming in there because you really like what's on there. Naturally, these algorithms are designed to show you more of the things that you like, so just download Newsfeed Eradicator and it will block out your entire newsfeed. You won't get distracted when you go on social media. So Newsfeed Eradicator is point 2. Number 3, download a tool called Momentum Dash. And just in case you're wondering, some of these things I've left links for below, but Momentum Dash does the same thing for Google, and it also helps you set your priority for the day. So whenever you open up a new tab, instead of it going into Google and making any kind of recommendations for searches, it just pulls up your home screen on Momentum Dash, and you can type in what your priority is for the day, and it will just keep reminding you this is your priority for today. For number 4, let's put this into perspective. If somebody is about to die and you are the person that they depend on, will they send you a WhatsApp message and do nothing else? Probably not. They're probably going to call you multiple times to see if you can help them. And I only say that because I want to drill in the point, because everyone just seems to be so scared to do it. Turn all your notifications off. WhatsApp, text, emails, Facebook, YouTube, you should not be getting a ding or a notification for anything on your phone, except phone calls, because the only things that are really urgent are usually the things that people will call you for, and even then I'd argue sometimes people call you just to have a little bit of a chat. But if you're trying to get something done, professionally or personally speaking, you need to do it without distraction. So turn off all your notifications, because if there is something urgent or something that you need inside one of these apps, you're going to go looking for it. You just don't need the app to tell you when you should be looking at it. And that will allow you to have more control over your time rather than your phone or any other tool that you use dictating where you spend your time. And the same rule applies on your laptop. Turn off every single notification. You should not be getting anything. And number 5, just to further emphasize how you can minimize the distractions that you have on your phone, put your phone in black and white mode. There'll be a setting somewhere in your phone where you can put it into black and white mode, and that just means that when you pick up your phone and there's no colors on it, you're less likely to be distracted and get sucked into all of the different things that you can possibly do on your phone, including all the apps and the games that you might have on there. Put it in black and white mode, it will just look less like a toy. And then the next thing that also connects to your phone and to your laptop, set up routines. Like, you're going to know when you're at the gym, when you're working, when it's time for you to go to sleep. So make sure your phone restricts you and your laptop restricts you on what you can go on when it's in bedtime mode, so you can't access anything. Because if you're going into bedtime mode but you're binge watching stuff on YouTube and TikTok, then you're not going to be able to sleep very well. So set up routines on your phone and on your laptop so that they force you to do the thing that is the priority at the time. Just like if you're at the gym and you spend hours on end on Instagram while in between resting, and then you end up taking way longer breaks, then it's only going to take you longer to complete your gym session. So stop yourself from going on social media by blocking the app during the times that you're usually at the gym. And if you really struggle with that, just uninstall the app and force yourself to use the app through the browser, because the experience is going to be so poor that you're going to get fed up and you're just going to end up leaving it even quicker. Moving on to number 7, how many junk emails do you get that you probably never look at? Or they're just news alerts from places that you might have shopped at years ago, but they still come through into your inbox, either monthly, weekly, or even daily. Unsubscribe from every single email newsletter that you get because you do not need that information and you do not need it at all. And once you've done that, guess what? You probably don't get 100 emails a day anymore. So what does that mean? You spend less time looking at your emails and you can actually go and do something worthwhile. So unsubscribe from every single email. And if you do have one that you do need, and I'd argue that you're probably never going to need one that requires immediate attention, set up a folder and an auto forwarding rule so everything goes into that folder. So when you do need it, and you are looking for that email, you know which folder it's in, you can go there and find it. And the next one, applying it to your finances, go through your bank statement and just look at how many direct debits you might have set up. Are you still paying for a direct debit for a gym membership that you don't even use? Cancel it. Unless you really feel like you need to go, then keep it running, because that's going to be painful watching that payment go out, and it will remind you to go back there as often as possible. But if you have a setup where you exercise at home, then you don't need a gym membership. Cancel any direct debits that you have across business and personal, so that you're not unnecessarily spending on things that you don't need or don't use. Going back to emails, because I didn't quite finish the point, set up auto forwarding rules. If you get receipts and you need them because maybe they're a business expense or you need to keep them safe, then set up an auto forwarding rule so that they go into the right inbox or to the right email so that they can be taken care of. For example, my business profile on Uber, I need those receipts so that I can expense them. So instead of me getting a notification, ding, the moment that receipt comes through, and then I'm looking at it and then I need to forward it onto another email address and then I need to forward that onto my accountant so that they can upload it into the digital portal and it can get taken care of, just set up forwarding rules so that it happens automatically and removes itself from your inbox and you don't even get a notification for it. It will just happen. So if you find yourself constantly doing these small little errands to keep yourself organized, see if you can automate it, because that's a rule that I would encourage you to put in place. Automate everything that you possibly can, both personally and professionally, just not raising your kids. The next thing that really helped with minimizing distractions, certainly for me, is just removing everything off your desktop. If you log on to your desktop on your laptop and you've got an array of folders and files and everything, get rid of all of them and put them either into one folder right in the corner, or just get rid of them completely, because you probably don't need access to every single one of them all the time. And if you use a MacBook, just like you have 705 different icons on your system tray, just get rid of them. You probably don't use more than 2 or 3, which will be your browser, your messaging platform, and your note-taking platform. Nothing else is even worthwhile. Just get rid of them. And then go and apply the same rule to your phone. How many apps do you have that you never use? Uninstall them. And why are they all sitting on your home screen so you have easy access to them, just for you to get sucked into them and then get distracted for the day? Uninstall them or get rid of them. Just remove them off your home screen, because the more easily you are able to access them, the more likely you are to get distracted and sucked into whatever there is on social media. So just remove everything unless it's educational or you're watching this video. Stay tuned. And the point about uninstalling, and it also applies to your individual social media accounts. Do you follow someone that's always posting stuff that when you see it, you don't feel good about it or you don't like it? Why are you following them? Or if you have to follow them because they might get upset if you unfollow them, just put them on mute. In fact, most of my friends and family won't know this, but every single person that I follow is on mute on Instagram. Apply that rule on every single other social media platform. Who can you put on mute? Who can you not be bothered with seeing? If you're following your competitors on LinkedIn, put them all on mute. Why are you paying attention to what they're doing? And the next point is, when you are working, just to improve your focus a little bit more, put your phone in flight mode. You're not going to get any distractions, no notifications. You don't need to go on there. Even better, put it in another room. Obviously, if you have a business and a personal phone, makes it a little bit easier. You keep your business one, your personal one can sit elsewhere. But put it in flight mode, especially when you're trying to have some focus time to get one thing done, which if somebody does call you, you're just not going to get it done on time. Just like me, while making this video, my phones are in flight mode. No one's getting through to me. And the next thing is something that not everyone pays attention to, but for those of you who've seen my glasses, they'll have a little bit of a blue tint if the camera can pick it up. And that's because they're blue light blocking glasses. So if you don't have a pair, go and get one, because if you're sitting at a screen and you're staring at it all day, everyone who does that always gets a little bit of a headache that runs around the side of their head. And it's because you're staring at a screen that's giving you artificial light, and it's not good for your eyes, so you will end up with a headache. If you get blue light blockers and you use them while you're working, you don't get the headache. And when you get to the end of the day, that really tired feeling that you get on your eyes, it doesn't exist anymore. And now moving on to the next thing, get faster internet connection. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to upgrade your broadband. It might just mean that you need to set it up correctly. Or it might mean that you need to get a slightly better router. So go and look into what is a mesh Wi-Fi system, because that's going to improve your internet speed straight away. And secondly, if you are sitting quite close to your router, if you ever find it to be the case that while you're working, your internet speed starts off really slow and then all of a sudden, bang, it all picks up again and then it drops down again and then it picks up again. If it's constantly doing that, it might be that you have an auto banding setting on your Wi-Fi. What that means is some devices, in fact the majority of certainly newer devices, can connect to a higher band speed compared to the older devices. And the way that you do that is go and watch a YouTube video on how to split your Wi-Fi banding and make sure all your 5G devices are connected to a 5G signal. You're going to instantly see results if you get that done. And the next thing is to improve everything around you. Like, just make things more enjoyable for yourself. If you can afford to get yourself a nice desk and a nice chair, Herman Miller is a great brand to stick with, or a decent microphone and a really good desk setup, then guess what? Your work is going to become more enjoyable. Just like somebody who might spend a lot of time in the kitchen, a nice kitchen just makes the experience a little bit more enjoyable. And if you're ever considering doing a really long drive, it becomes a little bit more enjoyable if you do it in your dream car or in a Rolls Royce. So if you can afford to upgrade some of the things around you, go and do it, because it only makes things more enjoyable for you. And the next thing is, as you get older and you begin to make more money, this is where I would prioritize my spending. Now, it's easy to turn more towards the luxuries and think, what's the next most expensive thing or toy or luxury item that I can buy? On reflection, don't bother with it. It's just a waste of money. Why not use that money to make your life easier? So if you can afford to get takeaways, and by takeaways I don't mean like doner kebabs and burgers every single day, but if you can eliminate cooking in your household because you've probably got loads of restaurants in your area, especially if you live in a city and they can prepare just about every single meal going, then how much easier would that make things for you and your family? I would rather that over buying some really expensive luxury item, because this little switch and change is going to change the circumstances for my family, certainly for my wife, for at least 6 months. So ask yourself the question, would you rather go on holiday once every 6 months, or would you rather just have an easier life here where you are? So if you can afford to, eat out more, get yourself a robot vacuum cleaner, use a dishwasher if you haven't got one, get yourself a cleaner if you haven't got one, and anything that you can do that eases the lifestyle that you have or makes things easier for you and your family, prioritize them over the luxuries, because the focus that you put on your health and convenience will always earn you back more. And the next thing is when you actually have free time. Now, free time doesn't mean 100% attentively focused free time, but what information are you consuming? If you're listening to music, swap music for audiobooks, for business books, for podcasts, for religious talks, because the time that you're spending listening to music, whether you're at the gym, whether you're driving, this is all time that you could be spending gaining valuable information and knowledge that would help you in your personal or your professional life. So just stop listening to music, because you're not going to earn any more money or free time or more focus by knowing all of the lyrics for every single song on Stormzy's next album. And for the next one, I would direct you to eBay. And that means that you need to declutter. Look around yourself. What are the things that you actually need day in, day out? Have you got a pile of stuff on your desk that you never use or you never look at or you never reference? Why is it there? Get it rid of it. And then go through everything else in your house as well. If you've got items of clothing that you have not worn for more than 9 months, they either need to go in the bin, or if you're too attached to them, put it up on eBay for a 99p auction, see how much it goes for, because the market will tell you how much it's worth. You might be attached to it, but it's probably not worth that much. And you don't need more than 3 pairs of jeans, you don't need 17 pairs of trainers. Just declutter everything. Same principle as what I explained earlier about decluttering on your desktop. Do it for the rest of your life as well, because all these little mental cogs that you have spinning in your head, you're going to get rid of all of them in one go. And the next one is a little bit more of a digital hack, and that's that if you've ever been sat on a plane and maybe you've got some Wi-Fi connection, or you're in a meeting, or you're traveling abroad and you don't want to call your voicemail because it's going to cost you too much, then download the tool called Voxist. It's free. And every time you get a voicemail, instead of it going to your voicemail and you having to hold on to one and dial it and call it and then listen to what the person's saying and then delete it, Voxist will send you an MP3 file via email, and it gives you a number of transcription credits every month. So it will tell you who's called, what they've said, and you'll get that message on your email, and it just makes life so much easier. And the next thing is use an AI meeting note taker. I've left a link to the one that I use. Download it, it's free, and it will transcribe and summarize your entire meeting, and it will send summaries out to everybody who's involved, including action points. Just saves time having to type up everything that you've had in a conversation just to email it back to the person saying, just to confirm this is what we wanted. Get the AI to do it for you automatically. And the last three things are all focused on more rewards and making more money. There's a tool called Honey Rewards, which I've left a link for and I've used for a long time. Is a Chrome extension that sits on your desktop while you're doing your day-to-day stuff. And whenever you go and do some shopping, it will automatically scan all the websites just in case there's a discount code that you can use and collect some points for you along the way. The points stack up, you can convert them into Amazon vouchers. I don't pay that much attention to it anymore, but every now and then I'll go and check, and there's a few £100 worth of Amazon spending vouchers on there. And the same principle applies to BA shopping. That's British Airways shopping, also known as Avios. So go and set up an Avios account and use the Chrome extension to remind you whenever BA shopping works. And if you shop through the BA portal for all the stuff that you do, and this includes Uber Eats, Just Eat, if you're ordering food from there, and many other retailers including Argos, as you're doing your shopping, you also get Avios points. And if you know how Avios points work, they stack up and you can get flights for £1 and a hotel stay for £1, and even flight upgrades into premium economy or business at the same price as economy just by using your points. And you can convert them into Nectar points so you can spend them on eBay as and when you please. So this isn't me trying to tell you to spend more money. This is just continue with what you're doing anyway and just collect some points along the way. And last but not least is get yourself a reward charge card. I've left a link to the one below. It is a referral link only because it works out better for you if you use that link rather than go straight onto their website. So go and check it out. And just making it clear, this is a charge card, not a credit card, because for religious reasons I do not endorse credit cards because they have interest in them. This one does not have interest. And then if you use a VPN and you go into a majority Muslim country and then you view the exact same card, it comes up saying it's a Sharia compliant card. And same thing again, not asking you to spend more money or go excessively. It's just if you are spending any amount of money on a card, do it on this, get some points along the way, stack up your points with this card, with Avios, and with Honey. Put them all together. Depending on how much you're spending, there's no reason why you can't get a few £100s worth of spending vouchers every single month. So hope you've enjoyed it. Go and implement everything, because I have, and I encourage everyone who works for me to do exactly the same thing. So if you have employees and a team, go and send it to them as well so that they can all benefit from it. So now go for it. It'll take you 1 hour to implement and it will earn you rewards, including time, money, and mental space back for as long as you keep it implemented. Drop a comment saying done when you're done.